Welcome everyone to the North American Arrival Series play, and I am your host for today's festivities, Vaudable, and joining me in the booth is none other than Hunted and Meet and Greek. How are you guys feeling about today's events?
Oh man, I'm so excited. We've waited so long to get to this point, but finally the speculation can come to an end. The predictions will be shown live right here, and I could not be more excited.
Guys, we started out with over 120 teams today, and only 7 will return victoriously to this season of the Rival Series. Nick, how can we even comprehend what's going to happen? There's already been upsets.
I mean, yeah, there's been so many upsets, and we'll get into those in a moment. But before then, we need to talk a little bit about how the format's going to be different this play-in compared to the others. Why don't you kind of break down how the upper bracket works for us, Hunted?
Yeah, so we start with all 128 teams. They're all in one giant bracket. And of course, being a double elimination, you have the winner's side and then the loser's side. So pretty much you can separate the bracket into 4 different parts, at least for the upper part of the bracket. And it's almost like if you make it to that quarterfinal stage of the bracket, you're in a qualifying match. So a lot of teams have played 4 games already. They're in their 5th game of the day. They're playing for that qualifying spot. There's 7 total spots that need to be decided today, and we're going to see 4 in the upper bracket.
Pretty insane to see how that's going to be working out, especially with one of our first matchups we have. Do have to briefly talk about how the lower bracket will work on this one, though. We tweeted out a little bit of a graphic earlier. When the teams go down to that lower bracket and eventually make it to those qualifying matches, there's basically a mulligan for the 2 teams who fail to qualify. It's going to be 3 qualifying spots to that, so it's going to be pretty great to see all that. But why don't you tell us about some of the teams that we'll be seeing for this first match, Meet and Greek?
Oh goodness, for this one coming up, we have Linked Up versus Cheese, and these teams have a little bit of a past history before. Linked Up, they've actually taken out Cheese 3-0 and 3-2 in the past, so history is slightly in their favor. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens, especially because Cheese is going in as the 11th seed, and I believe Linked Up is 3rd seed, so it's really stacked in Linked Up's side. But who knows what could happen? Cheese has already had an upset today. I believe they took out Poco Loco, who is a high-rated seed as well. So who knows if they're going to be able to take that momentum and push even more forward.
Yeah, certainly they take that upset, as you said, and now they're looking to do it again against Linked Up. And for the rosters, if you don't know, Linked Up, Alpha Kep, Joe Freshness, and Sosa. So that, multiple players on that team looking to get back into the Rival Series. So they certainly have the experience to get there. They've got to win one more against a Cheese roster who, as you said, has played very well today, and they look to continue that. That's going to be Toasty, Absorbent, Karma, and Deck XP. So we're going to have to see how this unfolds. Can Cheese pull off the upset again?
That's the question, isn't it? Can Cheese pull off the upset? And we've seen a few of those upsets before in the bracket. The biggest one to note is Bull Send dropping down early against Satisfaction. Why don't you guys talk about that a little bit?
Well, it was certainly not something that I think either myself or Meet and Greek really saw coming. It was a 5-game series, went all the way to the end. We haven't had a ton of time to review everything, but the rumor on the street is they blew a sizable Game 5 lead, did Bull Send, and ended up dropping out. I wonder how that's going to affect their mental state in the losers bracket.
Yeah, the rumor is they dropped a 4-goal lead in Game 5, and Hunted, that's rough. I hope it's not true for their sake, because going and losing that much momentum, being so close, and now you have to go through the gauntlet that is the lower bracket, it could be crushing. But this is a very solid team. There's a reason why they're the 2nd seed overall. If anyone can battle through that lower bracket and get that extra life back and potentially even secure another spot, it's going to be them.
It's going to be great to see how they're able to tackle the adversity they're going to have to go through in that lower bracket, just to see how they can potentially qualify, because most people, when they're coming out with lists on like Twitter and Reddit and all the other social medias, they're saying, okay, Bolsent, they're pretty much billed to be qualifying for the Rivals Series. Now they're going to have a tougher time at it. Some other teams that have made it into those qualifying matches already, Afterthought, Sway Esports, a lot of people expected these ones. Compadres with a 3-0 over the Dudes. But why don't we break down a little bit more of this matchup before we get it started?
Yeah, this one should be pretty interesting. Linked Up come into this without dropping a game on the day. They've been playing very well coming into the tournament as a whole. And against Cheese, historically, at least recently, they've won a 3-0 series and a 3-2 series against them. So to me, that means that Linked Up is confident against a Cheese team like this, and that they're not going to be afraid to play the way they want to play that offensive style that we've seen from Joe Freshness, from Sosa, from Alpha. And it's going to be on Cheese, at least in my opinion, to live through that first initial wave and find their offense.
What are your thoughts, George, on that?
Well, I'm taking a look at the past matches between these two teams. Yes, it was a 3-2 and a 3-0, but it's not enough in the bank for me to really solidly say Linked Up. Yes, they are the higher seed. Yes, they have the skill and the talent there, but Cheese is riding momentum right now. This is the game that they need to win to get into the Rival Series. I think that they are going to be charged up. They're going to get that full boost, VOD, and I think that they're going to be able to take.
It's going to be great to see either of these teams come out on top. And even if they don't qualify here, they still have a chance in the lower bracket. Even if they don't qualify in the first chance at the lower bracket, they still have a second one if they make it to that qualification match, which is so great to see that happen with all of this. As always, here on Rival Esports, we do want to thank you all for tuning in to the broadcast so far, and definitely join our Discord for the conversation, ! Discord in the chat. But for Linked Up and for Cheese, do either of you think, I want to hear some predictions more than anything, actually.
Okay.
Well, I think that Linked Up will most likely take this series. I think it'll go to 4 games. I'll say 3-1 Linked Up.
I'm going to say 3-0 Linked Up. I know I said a lot of information about Cheese, but it's just not in their favor. Let's get into this game, folks. I think they're already playing this one.
Well, we are here. It is game number 1. Thank you, Vaudible, for that lovely introduction. And Meet and Greet, we have a lot of Rocket League to play, and we are underway now, finally, as Joe Freshness has an opportunity. Didn't quite put it on goal. And, of course, with our predictions, I would love to know what chat thinks. Use the command !Cheese to vote for Cheese, and use !LU to vote for Linked Up. Will be shown on screen a little bit later, but we are underway again. All of these games today, best of 5s. So this is a very important game 1.
It is indeed game 1. If you can get this, it's huge momentum boost, especially for either side, but for Cheese. If they can get it going here, Jeff, it could start something magical.
We'll see who will get that first opportunity to find the goal. Joe Freshness had a bit of one, but he couldn't quite put the ball on goal. Since then, a little bit of back and forth. Nobody finding any real opportunities as Alpha's going to take this off his back wall. Beautiful move to get by 2. Plays it into the zone, but Absorbent Karma, last man back, will play it away. Joe Freshness towards the net. Sosa to follow. It's going to go well wide. They should live through this for now. Of course, Cheese in blue, Linked Up in orange. Sosa over to Joe Freshness. He'll play it back down into the Cheese zone. There's Toasty. Does it clear it away. Good shot by Alpha. He's saved away by Deck. Joe Freshness towards the back while Alpha's up for this. Touch! He'll score! Opening goal for Linked Up. The offense finds a way again.
And the defense here, Hunted, they're finding themselves very stagnant. Absorbent Karma was in the net. He had every opportunity to get up and hit that ball away, but just the rotation that he took into that front post position did not gather him any defensive mindset. And he was just able to let that ball pass right by.
With just about 2 minutes gone in game number 1, Linked Up strike first. Let's see if they can expand on this lead. They look to play offense now. Absorbent Karma will turn them around. Sosa has to play this back into his zone. Solid challenges up front for Linked Up so far in this game, Meet and Greet. It's something that I think they take pride in. Certainly want to maintain mid possession if at all possible, and it starts with those early challenges.
It does. If you can get that early pressure, you're going to be very set for the rest of the game. You won't feel as urgent to get that goal, but right now, if you're Cheese, you're going to be sweating a little bit. This is a qualifying match. You got to take your defense, keep those rotations solid, and start building that offensive pressure.
There was a bit of pressure, but that one will be cleared away. Errant pass by Absorbent Karma through mid, and they can't quite keep possession. There's Joe Freshness with another solid win in mid. Absorbent Karma tries to play this down. Alpha over towards Sosa, and he'll bomb it back. Toasty. An errant touch. Deck has to try to beat Sosa to that ball. Luckily, he gets a piece of it. That was nearly an open goal for Linked Up. But these errant touches, you said it, nerves play a huge factor in these kind of series. Of course, this being a qualifying match, it could be one of the biggest series in these players' Rocket League careers.
Yeah, and there's so much is on the line. And when that ball is stagnating on top of your net, you're being forced to take a vertical challenge to it. You know that your defense is just struggling to take control. There's so much offense coming through here for Linked Up, and they're just riding this wave right now.
With 90 seconds to go, they have only one goal in their favor in this game, but it's the only goal that's mattered thus far. Norman Karma will turn it away. Toasty tries to play it back down towards him. Gets it by the first defender in Joe Freshness, but Sosa an easy clear. Deck rotating back quickly, leaves it for Toasty, and he'll find another way to get this ball out of the zone. We approach the final minute of game number 1. A lot of back and forth. That's a whiff that might come back to haunt Cheese as Sosa's trying to streak down the sidewall. Not going to be able to get by the defender, and they clear for now. Final 50. Sosa towards the goal. That's in. What a shot from Sosa. Makes it 2-0.
And these defensive errors, they are haunting this Cheese squad right now. But take a look. I got to give Sosa so much credit there. Take a look at the angle he was able to get on that ball coming off the wall to take the shot. And even if the defense was in position, I think that one was still pinpoint accurate.
It was a beautiful shot from Sosa. I mean, for him to get as much power as he did on that ball from where he was, great play. So Absorbent Karma tries to play this off of his teammate in Toasty, but a good save on the goal line. Toasty has another opportunity, looking for Karma. What a pass, what a goal. 2-1 with 31 seconds left.
And here's where it starts building up for Cheese. 31 seconds, they're down by 1. They can make it happen. Absorbent Karma coming through clutch, being in position. The pass from Toasty. This is how you start that miracle, Hunted. You gotta get going here. 31 seconds, keep applying that pressure.
Got to get on the offensive side of the ball in the next 25 seconds, of course. They'll have that 0-second time extension if it is necessary. That's a whiff from Karma. This could be dangerous. Deck gets up there to pinch it away. Solid touch by him. Alpha Camp not able to make the touch. Sosa will, however, but Deck keeps the ball in. One final opportunity. Alpha into his own corner. Toasty's there to play it. He's got teammates out in front. He rolls up. Nobody gets a touch on the ball, and Linked Up escape with game 1.
Linked Up, goodness gracious. They come through here, they take game 1. It's kind of expected from them, but Cheese really started giving them a little bit of a run for their money. They started bringing it back. Unfortunately, maybe if this game had an extra 10 seconds on the clock, something could have happened, but right there, that last second opportunity, I guess that's just what the epitome of this Cheese squad is coming through. But the series is not even close to being over, Hunted. We have a full 5 games here, 4 more to go potentially. There's still ample opportunity for Cheese to bring it back, but from what we've seen of Linked Up, it's looking pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, again, I talked about it in the pregame. The experience from Linked Up is going to do them so well. They've been in this position before. They've qualified for the rival series before. They know what it takes to get there. And you can tell that the nerves are not affecting them nearly as bad as Cheese. I mean, there were some uncharacteristic whiffs from the Cheese squad. Toasty had a couple of misplays. Absorbent Karma just missed the ball on defense a couple of times. They need to get the nerves and the emotions under control, or they're going to find themselves down 2-0 quickly in the series. Yeah,
and even though the scoreline was 2-1, it was still heavily in Linked Up's favors. I believe 11 to 3 or 4 shots on goal. So once the floodgates open for Linked Up, it could spell disaster for Cheese. It could be an easy way into the rival series for Linked Up if they keep on going this route. Let's see if Cheese has any challenge to this.
Well, Toasty gets the first opportunity for Cheese. Joe Freshness will clear it away. Deck is still there. This one's out in front. Karma will score. Great response after dropping game one. They score one in the first 10.
And this is exactly what you need. Early kickoff goal opportunity. Deck did a fantastic job keeping that ball away from the defense, able to hit that one off the backboard to Absorbent, able to keep things in line. 10 seconds in. Let's see if they can keep this one going.
Might get another opportunity here right off the kickoff. Deck keeps it in. Doesn't get the double touch off the wall, so Alpha Kept has a bit of an easy clear, but he gives the ball away to Absorbent Karma. Quick shot towards the net, and I'm not angry at that one. You know, it's good when you're in a spot where you have not generated a lot of offense and you might be a bit nervous. Just throwing balls towards the net as Alpha Kept takes a shot can certainly start to help you come back. Karma throws it towards the net and it goes in.
Cheese doing everything they can, and right now the defense of Linked Up looking like Swiss as they're finding holes in it. It's a 2-goal lead, Hunted. Things are just taking a 180-degree turn, and they're taking control.
They are, however, still in the first minute of game number 2. 4 minutes, 15 seconds still. Do Cheese need to defend this 2-goal lead? There's plenty of time for Linked Up to at least find one. Alpha Kept looking for Sosa out in front. Play by Deck. Freshness to keep the ball in. He's along the sidewall. Now Sosa get by Absorbent Karma, and Absorbent Karma plays it back into the zone. Touch from Joe. Toasty to collect. Can't get by Alpha Kept. Here's Sosa, has an open shot. He'll score. Couple of long-range goals early on from both teams, and it's 2-1.
And we're seeing the duo come back here. The easy Kept to Sosa plan coming through, and Absorbing Karma had the boost, had the position, just couldn't get the touch to tap that one away. And if you're Cheese, here's where you gotta just be careful. Don't hesitate on defense. Don't lose this lead.
Alpha looks to continue the push. Out in front, good play by Absorbing Karma to clear it, but Joe Freshness is there and waiting. Solid touch, has Deck in support, up in the air. He can't get the dunk. Wonderful save from Joe Freshness. He'll have to make another one there as he tries to push it away. Linked Up, having a hard time getting out of their zone now. Low on boost. Joe will get that back boost there. Will open up a little bit of space. Kept solid touch. Can Sosa clear this by? He can't. Absorbent Karma is all by himself. Can he put it home? Yes, he can. Gets a little bit of help from Deck, but where did the defense go from Linked Up?
This was so beautiful. Deck went up, had it not even the chance of potentially bringing that one downtown, but he gets the touch needed to get that in the corner. And the entire Linked Up offense was way downtown. They thought they were transitioning.
Again, we talk about how important those mid challenges are. That time, Cheese won about 4 or 5 of them in a row, kept them on offense. They must play defense now as Toasty just gets enough of that to steer the shot from Joe Freshness away. Alpha Kept into the corner. He goes hard off the wall. Has Sosa out in front. Touch, what a pass! My word! Alpha gets the touch pass from Sosa. It's 3-2.
And he even gets bumped on the wall, but he doesn't care about that. He says, I gotta get this ball to my teammate so he can double it back to me. I gotta hit this in, take the lead, and crush it down to only 1 goal. There's still plenty of time left.
2:47 to be exact. Not even halfway gone. We've seen 5 goals in this game. Much different game than the first one, certainly, Greek.
Really different indeed. Both teams just vying out there. So much offense. The defense could do a little better. Are you kidding me?
What a boomer.
What a boomer indeed, Hunted. Talk about bar down. That thing was going in a mile away.
They hit the bar 2 or 3 times on its way into the back of the net. And Alpha Kept gets his second of the game, ties us up at 3. We are just now approaching halfway point. Freshness look for Alpha Kept. Can he get another? Off the back wall. In! Oh! What a save from Toasty! And another save!
No way!
It out and we stay tied.
Toasty the brick wall on defense. And now he's playing offense as well. This man is unstoppable.
comes Absorbent Karma, can't get around Joe Freshness. It stays in the corner. Some heroic effort from Toasty to keep us tied up at 3. Now he has a shot opportunity. Good save from Joe Freshness. This will chase Absorbent Karma all the way back. He whips the ball. It's out in front. Alpha kept looking for the bump on the deck. Not going to find it. It will clear. And we talked about nerves. We talked about whiffs. And Absorbent Karma had a bad one there.
Yeah, very lucky to walk away with that because goodness, could easily be 4-3 right now.
With 1:40 to go, we continue to play. Knotted up at 3. Sosa has to make a save. Comes out in front of the box. There's nobody there. Good pass to Joe Freshness. He'll send that well wide. Deck taking his time along the mid wall. Sosa, small flick. Can he get up by the defenders? All 3 clumped up in the corner from Cheese. Gives Alpha kept some kind of pass, but he hit it off the wrong part of the wall. Can't quite get it out in front. Now we take it slow. It was a quick game early on, but now that we're tied, approaching golden goal territory here, Greek, things slowed down a bit.
Yeah, now that we're in the latter minute of this game, both these teams are realizing, oh, we got to be careful here. We can't just play recklessly. There's only a minute left, and one of us is going to crawl away with a 1-goal differential win. Who's it going to be?
Great pass. What a save. Toasty again. Robbing Linked Up of the go-ahead goal. We approach overtime now. 34 seconds to go. Alpha kept another shot. Toasty, another save on the goal line. How many more does he have in him? They are still buzzing around this net. Are linked up. This could be a clear from Karma. Gets bumped back into it. Will come out in front, but Toasty gets a touch on it. Final 14. Joe Freshness back wall. Alpha kept now. They'll put that line in. Final 10 seconds on the clock in regulation time. Sosa will clear it across the pitch. Joe Freshness up for it. Slight touch. Deck over to the sidewall. That should be it. We're in overtime.
Oh my goodness. Toasty coming through clutch. Not once, not twice, not thrice, but like 5 times this game. Are you kidding me?
Well, he's got to have to make another one here. Actually, that's Deck rotating back, and that shot was just a bit wide from Joe Freshness. As he sends this towards the net. There's another save for Toasty. Pass down, gets it by Karma. That's a little bit unfortunate now as Sosa takes a quick shot. Good save. Right away that time by Absorbent Karma. It has been all linked up in this last minute plus. This ball's going to fall down. Sosa's there. Slight touch, that's in. Finally, they beat the defense, break the tie. They take game 2.
And talk about threading the needle, Alpha kept able to somehow get his rear wheels on that one. Brings it to Sosa, tosses it in, and linked up. Take match advantage here in game 2, but goodness hunted, this one could have gone either way.
Yeah, Toasty had 4 saves on the board, and all 4 of them were absolute highlight reel saves on the goal line to keep them tied up at 3. Unfortunately for him, his offense could not quite get it done. And it looked much better in this game from Cheese. Granted, they blew that lead. It's head and shoulders above what they showed us in game 1. If they build on this momentum, Greek, I really think that they have a good chance of at least getting a game, if not 2, on this linked up squad.
Well, you're absolutely correct, Hunted. Here's the thing. Cheese came back in extraordinary fashion in this game. They played on par, if not better than linked up for the first half, but then things started to slip away, and then we saw linked up, like, again, Toasty made miraculous saves. Like 1, 2, 3, 4 plus. Playing incredible defense, was able to keep his team in this matchup, but you can really tell Linked Up was just taking control. That ball was on the blue half for a solid 1 or 2 minutes. There was so much offensive pressure, it was going to go in regardless.
Yeah, at the very least, that final minute of regulation plus the entirety of the overtime period was spent on the blue half of Cheese, and that did eventually do them in. They need to find a way to transition into offense. And again, we talk about the mid challenges. I don't know how many times I've mentioned mid challenges, but it's so crucial in a series that is this quick. We are underway with game 3. That ball nearly goes in off the kickoff. Good pass. Great demo. Toasty absolutely wiping Alpha off the map, and they take another 1-goal lead just 9 seconds in.
Toasty not only demos Alpha Cat, but he took Sosa out of the play as well. You saw him avoid that by jumping and twisting out of the way. He just completely inhibits 2 defenders in less than 9 seconds. Cheese take the lead. Can they hold it though?
Good shot from Alpha, finds the back of the net.
Nope.
Couldn't quite rotate around, and we're tied at 1 early on.
Hunted, sometimes the game answers my own question that I put out there. And it's almost like the caster curse is coming out. But here's the thing. You hate to see it, especially kickoff goals. And I know that these teams just traded, of course. But Cheese had so much momentum, and they just instantly lost it.
Now it is crunch time if you are Cheese. I got a chance to talk with Toasty, who made all of those saves, and you know, I talked to him. I said, "How do you plan on dealing with the nerves?" And you know, he's very aware that nerves, they play such a big part of these qualifying games that you know, you just got to try to put it out of your mind. You've got to act like this is just another game of Rocket League. And so far, I think he's been the highest performing member of his team, even though they haven't won a game yet.
No, I agree, and sometimes all it takes is one member just really giving it all, but of course this is a team game, Hunted. You need everyone on par, everyone in sync if you want to be able to take this series.
Good touch from Absorbent Karma to make the save. A little over a minute gone by, game 3, still tied at 1. Great touch by Toasty. This has a chance to go on net. Joe Freshness will see it away. Deck tries to play it out in front. Another touch from Joe. Toasty beats 2 defenders. He's got a third to try to get by and actually bounces out towards his teammate in Karma. A challenge and a clear come out from Linked Up, so we continue to play. Still tied. This is, again, a far slower pace than what we saw in game 2. Now Joe Freshness down the pitch. Slow bouncer around in mid. Karma gets there first. Sosa has to go up and make a save. Great one by him. I like how quickly Cheese are getting up for these challenges. They're showing they're not afraid to make these plays.
No, they're not indeed, but again, it's just looking like Linked Up is starting to take back control unless this ball finds its way in. Toasty threatening, but was unable to find purchase.
That was a good touch from Deck to play it away. Sosa had somewhat of an opportunity to shoot. We've seen Cheese get caught up as Sosa had an open shot. He decided to go near side and missed it just a bit wide, as now Sosa one more time will find the dunk over top of Deck. Not going to make a mistake on that play. It's 2-1.
And now Linked Up, 2.5 minutes away from joining Paradox, Plot Twist, and RBG in the rival series. Can they hold this lead?
It's got, as you said, 2.5 minutes, a half a game of Rocket League to do so. If they do end up dropping this game, they've got 2 more chances to try to find purchase into the rival series. For the boys of Cheese, they must win this game to continue their series. If not, they'll drop into the lower bracket. One bounces out in front. Sosa play it back into the blue half. Toasty will collect, takes his time, looks for the flick. Doesn't get a lot on it. Ball does stay in the Linked Up zone, at least for now. Deck and Alpha kept combined, and there's Joe Freshness to clear it away. So a slow, methodical pace right now from Cheese. They're not trying to give up too much on the defensive side, but they're also not, really looking to hammer the offense yet. More taking it easy, just trying to pry and pull a little bit on the defense.
Well, they're just trying not to play too frantically, because if they do, they might make another mistake. They'd be down by 2 goals, and then it'd be just out of reach. If they can just wait for somebody on Linked Up to make a mistake, I know there's not a lot of time left. I think they'll be able to find an opening.
About 120 seconds left, indeed. Now Karma goes around the corner wall. Joe Freshness to keep it in. He's got Sosa in support across the pitch. Going to take his time, trying to waste time. Keep it in this zone for as long as possible. That is the name of the game right now for Linked Up. Take as much time off the clock as you can. That's another good clear from Sosa. To the corner, Deck 50 seconds left. Gets it by Alpha, but Joe keeps it in. No, he doesn't. Deck wins that 50. Can't get by Sosa. There's Karma. He's got Toasty with him, but Alpha makes the play. And these challenges are so very good from Linked Up. They are keeping everything inside the blue half. Sosa missed that shot. That was an opportunity to put the nail in.
So close with 30 seconds left. Can Cheese bring it back here? They're on offense.
25 seconds. Sosa clears it away. Alpha Kev keeps it going. You have to find the clear. Toasty's up for it. He's looking for Deck. Slight touch, but it's right to Sosa, who clears it back. Now absorbing Karma. This could be their last opportunity in the series. Bounces up high. Toasty's there. He goes off the back wall. 3 seconds remaining. Sosa to clear. Bounces down in front. Sosa finds the clear. That'll secure it. Linked Up are headed to the rival series.
Congratulations, Linked Up. Cheese, you gave it a valiant effort, but it's not over yet. You're going to be sent down to the lower bracket where you have to battle your way through for another chance. And Hunted, what a series here for Linked Up. They made it to 3-0, but it really could have gone either way.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a wonderful series. It really felt like Cheese solved the Linked Up equation in game 2. But after dropping their early lead in that game, after losing that overtime period, it almost looked like they were a little deflated in game 3. It's a long day of Rocket League. There's so much you have to think about, so much you have to worry about, and such quality teams you're playing against that sometimes those emotions, endurance can start to run out when you get down on yourself a little bit too much, and I felt that's kind of what Cheese succumbed to in the end.
Yeah, no, you hit the nail on the head with the endurance factor. Some teams, if their cards play correctly, might find themselves playing 11 games today, 11 matches. Like that's extreme, folks. But again, just talking about this last series here, Linked Up 3-0 over Cheese, but there's just some things that Cheese was lacking that I think they could have improved upon. I saw some double commits by Linked Up that weren't capitalized upon, and just defensive errors here and there that really contributed to their loss.
Well, I would like to hear what Mr. Vaudable has to say about this series.
Yeah, it's been very interesting sitting on the sidelines this time and actually being able to see you guys all break down what is going on. One thing I just want to give a kudos to a specific player, Toasty. All the saves in the world that entire series. Crazy to see the effort he's being put into this matchup so far. Unfortunately, in the losers bracket now. But one question I guess I have for both of you, and I'll send this over to Hunted first, is like, from what we've seen now that Linked Up have qualified for the rival series, very important to talk about that.
Yeah.
Do you think they can push for the promotional tournament?
From Linked Up, yeah. I mean, if they continue to play the Rocket League, they know they can play. If they continue to push the offense, they stay aggressive. And again, I'm going to say it. I know that you guys are tired of hearing it by now. Mid battles, winning the challenges in mid is a key to Linked Up. They didn't do super great last season in the rival series. I think they're a different, better team now. And when you look at their opponents, of course, we still have plenty more to figure out. I think they can indeed make that promotional tournament. It's going to be a slugfest, but I think they can do it.
And another thing, before I interrupt you there, George, I feel like just talking about Linked Up is great to see the performance they've had so far, but we do have to talk about Cheese since they're still remaining in this bracket specifically. Going into that lower bracket, I heard mid challenges mentioned a lot. What can they really improve upon to try and make it through and actually qualify?
Well, just watching their whole team play go on, I think communication is a must. We saw some defensive errors on their half where no one was really rotating back onto defense. We saw some free goals coming through for Linked Up. You can never let that happen. It's just not going to cut it here, especially if you're trying to play for a spot in the rival series. This is big, folks. You got to be on the top of your game. Things to watch out for, I guess, in the lower bracket are some of the other teams that got sent down. I don't know if they're on the half of Bull's send, or if we had a bracket update for them. I would be very interested to see what's happening there. But you got to be careful. It's not that you don't go to the lower bracket, and these aren't easy games. These are very challenging matches. So you got to, even though, hey, you lost, whatever. You have another life down there. Go and take it and bring it all the way through. That's my advice for Cheese.
To update you there on the bracket, I just had a chance to take a little bit of a look at it. They have teams such as Loyal, Zabumafu, Bolsend, and the Dudes on their side of the bracket potentially that they have to go through. So, and Lights Out and the Matones are currently facing out. So there's a lot of great competition out there for this team to try and make it through.
And if I could just interject on that just very briefly. I mean, you talked about the saves, VOD, and the saves were wonderful from Toasty. Again, I think Toasty really showed up in this series. It was unfortunate they couldn't find the victory in the end, but if he continues to play that way, I think they can build off that momentum. If he gets a little bit more help, a little bit more team chemistry flowing, they can take it to these teams. They nearly did it to Linked Up, but you know, it's great for Toasty to make the plays, to make those saves, but he shouldn't be in that position.
Yeah, it's a great position for him to be in to make those saves, but you don't want to always be stuck on defense. And hopefully in the future matches they have, they'll be able to improve that and move on to the later stages of the North American Rival Series plan. But we do need to take a little bit of a breather, give our casters a break after that insane matchup. So we'll be right back after a few messages from some advertisements, and there'll be a little bit of a 5-minute break. So don't go anywhere. This is Rival Esports with the North American Rival Series plan. We'll be back in a moment.